What is up, everyone? As I'm sure you know from the title, today we're going to be talking about Stop Killing Games. Um, I recently have learned about this project, or it came to my attention again. Um, and as a gamer myself, as a gamer, um, um, it is a pretty important initiative, even though it won't affect me directly currently, because I do not live in the EU. But it is still a really important initiative, and I just wanted to talk about it. Some of the things that are happening with it, some of the stuff that happened with it, and I just wanted to make this video so hopefully, even if somehow a single one of you is in the EU and haven't heard of this movement or anything like that, hopefully this video will spur you to go and support this. Um, and it I mean, it's just I want to support it, and talk about it, of course, for views, money. I don't make any money off these, let's be real. Um, and yeah, I just wanted to do this, and let's get right into it. So to begin with, if you don't know what Stop Killing Games is, essentially it's a consumer right movement, consumers rights movement. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, I cannot speak. And it was started by a YouTuber who his name is Ross, and his channel will be linked below, and so will the Stop Killing Games initiative. Um, Pretty much what this initiative is for, um, is to essentially force game creators to preserve video games after they're taken offline. Pretty much what this means is literally all it is asking is that developers cannot just take away your rights to a game or say you can't play this game anymore because they're not making any money off of it anymore. Because if you're not familiar, in the modern day gaming environment, a lot of companies will just literally say, by the way, we can take the rights for you to play this game anytime you want, because you're not technically buying the game, you're buying a license to play the game, so you're under licensing. But the problem with that is you don't actually own it. So the game developers have no obligation to keep the game functional after they stop working on it and it's no longer profitable. And because of that, they're just kind of saying, well, it's a big fuck you to all people who play their games, because they don't care. The game industry is primarily after money, like any other industry. Let's be honest, that's just how, that's how the world works, right? Um, and this isn't like a big ask. There's a specific person. I wasn't going to name names, but I am, because it's absolutely ridiculous, and I'm sure you know of it already. But there's an individual that goes by the name of Pirate Software. Pretty much, he's this guy who he had a big following. There was a bunch of other controversies. I'm not going to get into any of that because I don't care. And honestly, he's just kind of like a nepo baby loser. Um, but that's beside the point. I mean, he and it's it's wild situation, but pretty much he was just purposefully, or well, I wouldn't say purposely as a guaranteed fact, but to me it seemed like he was just did not understand at all what the initiative was for, or what the like like he was almost to me misrepresenting it. And I'm not gonna say he had ulterior to. Oh my God, bro! How am I gonna make a serious video and not be able to talk? I'm not gonna say he has I'm not gonna say he has other motives, other than maybe he just didn't understand it. But I will say he is the I'm pretty sure he has his own game studio. Um, and then, if I remember correctly, he's also a quality assurance in another game studio. This is just off the top of my head. This could be completely wrong, but I don't believe it is. Um, and I'm not going to say, he's purposely trying to ruin the movement, right? But it does seem like he's misrepresenting it on purpose. Because I don't know a whole lot of the technical language that Ross talks about in the videos that explain it. But even I understood what he was asking because it's very clearly laid out. But Pirate Software, aka Thor, he just kept on saying like outlandish stuff. Like, for example, one of the claims was that essentially saying that the movement would require game developers to convert multiplayer experiences into single player experiences for their games, which is just not true. That's just not true. You could just make the source code public, and then players can run the servers on their own setups and their own servers and stuff, and then the game would be playable. Now, there are more technicalities there because, like, rights and license, all that kind of stuff. But that's all the initiative is asking, is for developers of games to leave the games playable and in a working condition after the development process is ended for that game. Now, it's not a problem with a lot of single player games because obviously they're made single player. There are some games that single player games that require you to be online and stuff, but that's a different part of the initiative. But all that's beside the point. Essentially, the campaign Stop Killing Games was doomed. Pirate Software, after his videos like bashing it and like talking trash about it, completely destroyed the project. Like it the all the buildup it had was just stopped dead in its tracks. And it was unfortunate because it's a great movement. Consumer rights are always important because, well, I'm sure everyone is aware of where we would be at right now without consumer rights to some degree. It wouldn't be pretty, to be put simply. And originally the signatures was stopped at around 500,000. Now, I did fail to mention this. I should have mentioned this earlier. Essentially, Ross got a petition sent up to I believe the European I'm honestly not sure off the it was sent to some European authority. I think God, I know it, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. Sorry. But essentially, it's a petition, and it has to be signed by 1 million people for it to actually be able to make a difference, right? And because of all the pirate software like drama and stuff, it ended at about under 500K, somewhere around there. And then the initiative, it was about time for it to end, and like there was little time left, and there wasn't much left that Ross could do. So he made a video addressing pirate software's claims and stuff, and a bunch of other YouTubers also started doing this and talking about how much, like, how it was a good thing and how pirate software was wrong and all this, kind of similar to my video except more in depth and stuff because obviously but now, thankfully, it is sitting at 893,121 signatures. I got it pulled up right now. And it's so close. It's like, it would be phenomenal if it goes through. And it would be amazing. But the problem, as I'm sure you're aware, I should have mentioned, it ends on the 31st of this month. So if you can go sign up for it, go sign up for it. The problem is, I'm not sure how actually effective petitions are. Because I know here in America, you could have every American sign a petition, and then nothing happen, literally, because petitions are like, you would get more use out of a petition of using it as, like, I don't know, toilet paper, literally. I don't think a petition has ever worked or done anything in America, especially in the modern day. But that's besides the point. And I do hope this goes through, the 1 million signatures, and a change can happen, because I'm always for consumer rights. Consumer rights are wonderful. And I would really like to see it go through, just as a gamer myself. God, that word's so cringe. And I really don't like where the gaming industry is. I really don't. It's the specifically the big box gaming industry. I don't know if that's the right term. Like the AAA gaming stuff. AAA games, I'm sure you're all aware if you play games, is in a terrible, terrible spot. Like, some of the worst that it's ever been, if not the worst. There's like very few companies that are actually putting out good work and actually do good stuff, like FromSoft, for example. But it is currently, I would say, the best time ever for indie development. You have indie games like all the time blowing up and getting so many players, so many views, and so much money. Like Schedule One, for example, I think I seen some article that said Schedule One had sold like, I think it was like either 20 million copies or $20 million, which is insane. Like, that is wild. And that just blows my mind. And it's amazing for indie devs right now. Um, but there is a lot of problems in the AAA space and with the big studio games, right? Um, because they don't want to guarantee the rights to your product or to their product. Because, normally, when you go to a store, right, and you buy, I don't know, let's say you go buy a phone, you pay for it all outright, it's all paid off. And then in a year or two, when the developers or the creators of that phone say, hey, we're not going to like update the phone anymore, give it back, right? Like that's crazy. That makes no sense. You should still, it should still be yours. You paid for it. And that's kind of similar to, not kind of, that is exactly what's going on in the gaming industry right now. And if the developers don't just straight take it from you or ask for it back, the game's just going to be in an unplayable state. You know, there are of course exceptions to this, blah 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 blah, but that's generally how it is. Um, so to sum this up, this is an amazing initiative. We should stop killing games. Go sign this if you're a European citizen. This video is going to blow up, I know it, and it's going to get 10 billion views, and I'm going to get this done myself, I'm sure. I'm sure that's what's going to happen here. Um, but anyways, thank you for your time. Um, and as I said, go sign this petition and all that stuff. It will be in the link or in the description below. Um, I'm not sure if I can actually put links in my descriptions now that I think about it. I think you have to have a certain amount of subs or something. But I will put it in the description somehow. I'll figure it out. But anyways, see you. Thank you for your time, and have a great day. Sign that petition.